What up, folks? Welcome back to Ultrazilla Toys, and today I have a review of the Marvel Legends Infinity War. Hitting the pause button on the Infinity War related reviews that I was gonna continue with Captain America because today is 4/26. It is Alien Day. And I have an Alien review for you. I have the SH Monster Arts Alien Big Chapter review. I got this figure during that Bluefin Tamashi sale. It wasn't all Tamashi, but Bluefin sale at Amazon, whenever that was. And I kind of forgot about this figure. I never opened it up. And this morning, when I woke up and saw it was 4/26, as in LV 4/26 from Aliens. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I have an Alien figure that I could review today. So yeah, I busted it open. Here it is. It's an interesting piece. What's cool is it's an old Monster Arts, and it's cool to look at an old Monster Arts once again. It's like fresh, but there's definitely some disappointing things here, but there's some cool stuff as well, without a doubt. So without any further ado, and we will get back with Captain America next up. It comes with this nice Alien Big Chap stand. I miss when Monster Arts used to do this, like I was just looking at the Rodan one for Rodan, and it was cool, and it's got like a little arm, and I guess you could place this here. I don't know how well it holds, but whatevs. It doesn't really need it, but you get it, and it's cool. I dig it. And then the only other accessory it comes with is two slightly more open hands, and they do look good. There's a nice little silver wash on them, which is throughout the whole figure, which is nice. I like it. You got the silver nails on there. Looks pretty good, Don't really have a problem with them. Sculpted well. So, I haven't tried to take these off yet. We'll see. We'll see how tough it is. I want to be able to do one for you here. Can't really tell which is... This is the right one. Now, it's got an interesting little peg there. So that might be a little tough to get in without heating it up. Oof. Come on, baby. Not happening. At least not on camera. Well, let's try this guy. I might have to do it like sideways or something. Let's try to get this guy back. Okay, well, there's that. Alright, so it does go in. These probably just need to be heated up. And speaking of which, this tail... Let's start right here. Let's get some gripes out of the way. Took me forever to get to attach. I had to heat up both sides, and I got it finally to stay in, but it didn't want to go, and it's very, very floppy. The other thing, and we'll look at this first, this, his like inner mouth here, getting it out, not easy. Because the mouth does not, his regular mouth does not open too far. But let's take a look at it now. The inner mouth. It's done in like a kind of white, off-white there, a couple of off-whites, a little eggshell, and then the little teeth are done in silver. It looks decent enough. But getting it out here, I had to pull it out with a little help from this thing, so which fit in there perfectly. So let's shove that back in there for now. And this piece here was stuck, so I finally got that out, but it was totally stuck inside there. But those were some, little gripes to open up with here. I've seen worse though. Yeah. Now, the other thing I would say is the dome. it's frosted all back here and then very not frosted in front. So you see the skull like very like prominently. And I wish you didn't. I wish it was frosted throughout. You know, you get a little bit, you know, give me some mystery there. It looks a little weird to me, like this, for sure. You guys have any tips on frosting this type of plastic without like totally covering it? Let me know, because yeah, that I think it would be better. The rest of the dome looks good. Like, you know, the way it's colored back here would have been great up here as well. But inside, I don't know, it looks okay. Doesn't look completely terrible. Really don't have much to complain about. Especially, again, if you covered it, it would be fine. Now, the rest of this figure, and I don't have images of that, but like of what I'm about to talk about here, and I didn't look prior to this because I didn't want to. In my mind's eye, this reminds me of the way the Kenner alien figure from way back, was it Kenner? From way, Shogun Warrior style, you know, I think it's Kenner. Alien figure, no, that Kenner was in the 90s. Who did that big alien figure back in the day? The tall, I'm talking like late 70s, early 80s, around the same time the big Godzilla figure was out. Because I had the Godzilla, my neighbor had the big alien, and we used to fight all the time. And in my mind's eye, this figure, the way it looks, reminds me of that figure. And that gives this kind of, you know, like a little more props for me. Like, it makes it better. You know, like, I don't know if that makes a lot of sense to you guys, but for me, like, the nostalgia thing that this is giving me actually helps it. Because I like the look a lot. You get, you know, the black and you get a lot of silver, which is done pretty well on top of it. It just reminds me of a Giger painting, so it's pretty cool. You know, I will say it's a little tacky. You know, and this is not a new figure, so it's had a lot of time to dry. But it does feel a little tacky. But the look is good. The sculpt on the body, you know, well, let's start up here. The sculpt here is, ooh, hit my light. Hey, light, how are you? We good? We good. The sculpt all on the head here is awesome. It looks fantastic. Really, really great. And the mouth looks good. I wish the mouth opened a little further, but we'll talk about that a little more. But all of this is fantastic. And then going down into the body, it looks really good. Like, all around, you know, and I had gotten so used to like NECA alien figures, so it's very interesting to see something else. I do have the Revoltech Alien Queen as well somewhere, and that feels so different too, and that's nice. I don't know, I like having different aliens. I'm really looking forward to the Figma one. So really nice looking, I think, the sculpt wise, and the paint on top of it is nice. Again, you get like a really cool silver wash, more pronounced in some places than others. The nails look good. You know, like, I just love this whole chest piece. It looks really cool to me. Really nice. Very, very slender. Maybe too slender, but again, it reminds me of what it reminds me of. So I think that's pretty cool for me. And it may not look anything like that, but again, in my mind's eye, that's what it looks like. So it looks good all the way down. I really like it. I really like all this work that was done on this. Feet look good. I really like the nails. And if it's not accurate, that's fine. Because, again, for me, it's totally cool. I dig it. Here's the back piece. All these pipes. I like to call them pipes. Back pipes. They look really good. It's like a nice silver, too. It's like kind of... In certain spots, it looks more gunmetal-y than like straight up silver, and I like that. This piece looks kind of annoying, but it's fine. The butt's even washed, so that's good. The tail has many, many segments, and then it feels kind of bendy in certain spots. I really like the tip of the tail. That looks really good. Very nice throughout. Again, the feet look good. Bottom of the feet look good. yeah, looks wise, you know, except for right in front of the head, I could dig the look a lot. I think it looks awesome. All right, let's do some articulation on this guy, which is kind of weird. Like, his head is very strange to me. Like, it moves down and up and back and forth, but there's a weird like snapback feeling to it. Like there should be a gimmick, and there's not. Like, it would have made sense if this snapped out a certain way, but there isn't. The directions only tell you to point it down to come out. So it feels very odd, and it feels like it's gonna break in a weird way. I don't get it. This back piece moves around for whatever reason, but it does. It's like on a couple of hinges there. So yay. Then the jaw here barely opens. It doesn't stay at all. So it's kind of blah in those terms. Like, even if you get all that back, at least mine, it just doesn't want to stay closed. So a bit unfortunate the way that is. Then we got hinge and swivel at the shoulder for a decent range of motion. Hey, hello, nice to meet you. So you got that going on, and then you got a double jointed elbow from here and here, which creates a giant elbow thing, and that's okay looking. No swivel in there. Swivel at the wrist. And is there a hinge on that thing? Hard to say. It's on that little joint that you saw, but I can't tell if there was a hinge. I'm gonna say no. The way it's bending, I'm gonna say no. You do have a very not so posable ab joint, but I mean, if you go side to side, it looks good. And then, you know, the he's just goofy, isn't it? He's like scary and goofy all at the same time. The waist joint has a lot of more movement though, so that's pretty good. And you can get him to look all the way down, which is nice if you want to do that whole, you know, classic alien thing where he like gets up. But you know, but then he's like, hey, ha ha. The hip joints are very tight, not tight, but like there's not much give here, so you're not really getting too much going on. You can't kick forward that much and back fine, but outwards, it's kind of hindered. This is a floating piece right in there, and you can twist and turn it just a bit, but you're not getting a lot of motion in there. The knees look really good. This is like a, you know, classic good like Monster Arts, Figure Arts type knee, and it's fine. Double jointed, it works well. The ankle is on a joint up here and at the foot, so you could take it completely out like I just did. Oh man, I hope that goes in easy. So that's not a good thing. Hey, that's fine. So it does go back and forward. Doesn't really rock much, but it does go back and forward. You can see my hands are a little wet because when I was trying to get that tail to stay. So it's the figure's a little wet. And then the foot is articulated. The tail really hangs very loose. It doesn't have much give. And then it's got a bunch of ball joints. Another there, another there. Another segment there, another segment there, another segment there. Yep, so you can turn them and twist them and stuff. Another one right there, and another one right there. I actually thought it was actually more bendy. It is kind of bendy, but that's because there's a lot of joints. It's just very floppy. You're not going to really, I don't think you're getting it to do much, you know? Which, yeah, not so great. But that's really, you know, all the parts of Big Chap here. I'll show you some size comparisons now. here's that cap figure from the opening, which Big Chap took the place of because, hey, it's 426 again. Here is Spidey, which had I remembered, I would have switched the order of these, but, you know, I threw in Big Chap, you know, at the last second because, again, I wanted to do something for Alien Day. Here is Eva 01, Robot Spirits. I don't know why its foot is that way, but there you go. Kind of like those two together. Not so bad. Here is Robot Spirits Ingram. What we got here? Gunbuster from Super Robot Chogoken. Hey, there you go. I haven't seen this guy in a little while. Here is Devilman. You know, a couple figures I really need to review there, amongst a bazillion others. But that's it, guys. That's all I have for this review. It is a definite mixed bag of a figure. I would say more bad than good. But there is still something kind of interesting about it. Again, if it wasn't for the nostalgia thing, I think I'd probably think less of it. But I do like the body a lot. And I think this head is just like a really, a little more frosted away from being totally cool. Except for the jaw. The jaw I don't know why they did it like that. And the tail is too weak. And it's got other problems, I'm sure. But as you've seen already. But I don't know. I'm just glad to have done it. I'm glad to have had a figure still in box here that I was able to do. For Alien Day, why not? Alright, and that's it. You can take this review how you will. Again, mixed bag, more bad than good. What are you gonna do? It happens. Alright, so please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts on this figure. And until next time, peace out, peeps.